Hi, I'm Yasmin from Team Mining, and today I'm going to explain you how to set up connections with the companies you work with in SCR. But before we dive into the how, let's first look at why you should do it. First, it helps to speed up your operations, and I think that's the main reason. By setting up the connections with the companies you work with, SCR users can actually transfer a container in one click through our platform, instead of generating a PIN code and sending it manually via email or other communication channels. Once the container is transferred, the receiving party is invited into our platform and can retrieve all the necessary information there to pick up the container. Second, it's more secure. So access is transferred directly within SCR, PIN codes aren't seen anymore, and also can't end up in the wrong hands anymore. So now we know why to do it. Let's see how to do it. How should you set up those connections? The first thing that you should know is that setting up connections in the platform can only be done by users in your organization who have the role of organization manager or connection managers. For them, the first step is to go to the admin area. And as you can see, I have my screen open, and this is actually how the admin area looks like. This is also the first screen that will open when you go into this admin area. So setting up connections. The first thing is to go towards the connection tab. I'll open it right now. And then you actually here have the plus button. And this is really the most important action to take. So you go to this plus and you add it. And here you have two options to add a new connection. First of all, it could be that the connection is already on SCR. In order to know if a company is already on SCR, you can actually use the search. In this sense, I would like to set up a connection with Good-Fried. So I'm going to see if Good-Fried is already on the platform, and indeed. I select Good-Fried and I send them a connection request. Here I still have to once again confirm. And then you will see that the connection request will be sent. You can see here in waiting for other parties that indeed we have sent the invitation to Good-Fried. It's not yet active because we're waiting for Good-Fried to accept the invitation. So currently it's not yet possible to transfer a container to Good-Fried. First of all, they need to accept it, and then we can start transferring containers. A second option is that the organization is not on SCR. So for example, I don't see container, it's not on SCR, so the organization is not in the list. At this time, I put here to invite a new organization to onboard, and I add the information. So I want to set up a connection with C container. I'm adding the email address. I add the VAT number and a message. Like this. And then you can send the invitation to register. Also here, you will see it appear in waiting for the other party. So C Container Transport is now invited onto the platform and need to accept the connections in order for you to be able to start transferring the container directly to C Container Transport. So if you would like to work more efficiently, the first step you should take is invite all the companies you now send the PIN codes to onto our platform. And once they all accepted the invitation, the day-to-day work will be more easy for you or your team members, so they can start just transferring the containers instead of generating the PIN codes.